Tasnim News recently just came out and published something against the 10-point framework that the Islamic Republic announced is going to be the red lines when it comes to negotiating with the Americans. And Tasnim published in criticizing that 10-point framework and mentioned that it's ridiculous, it's fantasy, and called it magic beans, right? The problem is that 10-point framework was claimed to have been from Mojtaba Khamenei. So, for many people within the Islamic Republic, they saw that as an insult to Mojtaba Khamenei. And Tasnim is IRGC linked. And one other publication that came against it was Raja News, which is connected to the Paydari camp or the Jalili aligned people. And they attacked Tasnim News, saying that you're insulting the supreme leader, and not only that, you are the people who are basically offering magic beans because you think there's any chance to negotiate with the Americans at all. And some pro-regime, some pro-Paydari camp, Jalili aligned people went and put graffiti on the walls of Tasnim News headquarters, attacking them, saying that you're causing division, you are attacking the supreme leader, you're the magic beans and stuff like that. And then Tasnim responded on publishing what they had, deleting what they had, but also threatening Raja News and saying that there are enemies within us that are trying to cause division among us, and the state is going after the agents of division and the people who are working with the enemy, basically. And IRGC-linked media threatening the most hardline elements within the Islamic Republic, which is something that I predicted that would happen at some point, and it was interesting to see it happen so soon, and this publicly. So that's what he is referring to. So Tasnim News is, you're saying, how would they position? So the thing is that it's always, if I was Tasnim News, I would make it, given that they deleted it, it seems like they were saying that, oh, this is not even, we didn't even approve this. But one way to look at it is that it's actually not very clear what statements that are claimed to be approved by the Supreme Leader are actually approved by the Supreme Leader. So I don't know if they're going to go that route, saying that we are saying that because we don't think that the Supreme Leader had said that actually comes from the Supreme Leader. But that would actually be more aligned with what Jalili has been doing, which is the Paydari camp, which Raja News has aligned with that, because it's Jalili who actually posted something recently challenging the claim that the statements being attributed to Mojtaba Khamenei are actually by him. So if now we have both Tasnim News and also the Paydari camp people saying that at the same time, then nobody could trust. Basically, every statement coming from Mojtaba should be seen with a high degree of skepticism from people of all sides. But it's interesting because Tasnim was like a really highly regarded source of news for many pro-regime people, and this will forever be as something that people will refer to as a way not to trust Tasnim. And if you can't trust Tasnim News, then many pro-regime people don't even know who to trust anymore. And not having a credible source of information that they could rely on is also going to cause more division among them. And the only thing that could save this a little bit is if Mojtaba shows up and actually talks publicly himself to the crowd. But short of that, this is a really chaotic situation. I don't know if that answers your question, by the way. It would be helpful if you ask the questions in a way that is more. Oh, yeah, it does, Alex. Okay, thank you. Because I don't know if I understood the question perfect. So I did understand the question. Okay. So maybe you ask it like that because you didn't know Tasnim News. You didn't know the name of the paper, right? All right. So you're saying it answered it. And I see some other people want to speak now also. I see one's in the chat.
So, Sketch, put one in the chat. Go ahead.
Yes, I want to swing it back to what we were talking earlier. You said put one for that. We are talking about watching one of his Max Afterburner's video. I'm putting a video in the chat. It's his latest video about the latest attack from the IRGC. This he's basically, we're talking about his field. He is a fighter pilot. And I thought watching this short video would be something you would enjoy. Anyone here who hasn't seen him will probably enjoy it. This guy is very knowledgeable. You know what? Just watch them. Me describing them is infinitely worse than just watching them. And maybe you can add them to your repertoire in the regular program on Running Revolution Live. I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay, the video is 16 minutes long, so I don't know if it's something that we could watch. If
We
it
got
was 5 minutes, we would do.
30 minutes left. I don't know if that's enough, but if it
Oh.
not enough,
Yeah, it's
if it isn't enough, you
Yeah.
could watch half of it. At the end is where he war games what he thinks could happen and how it could happen. You don't have to put that in, or you could put that part in if you decide to watch it with the regular stream. You could put that in over there if you want to cut it short here. You're the boss here, man. We follow your lead.
Okay, how about this? Does he have shorter segments of what his analysis on X that we could watch?
I think you'd lose a lot of the context if you did that.
Let me see. Hold on.
You could maybe skip. There's some things he's gonna say at the start that you could, or play it 1.25, 1.5 speed. That could work.
Yeah, but no, because on YouTube, some people might want to watch it on double speed, and they're like, "What the hell are you doing?" But now watching it on triple speed instead of double speed, right? Or something. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I could do this.
Ali, do you
Yeah,
want to
go on.
respond?
You can
Oh,
say
Ali.
no. You're the boss.
It's okay. Let's say Ali. Ali?
Yeah, while we're on the topic of YouTube channels, I actually made one.
Oh.
Armin
Yes.
twisted my arm and forced me to make one. And yeah, I
He
guess
did
I'll
it to me
put
too.
Yeah, I'll put the channel name in the description. I'll actually upload my first video today.
Can you actually put the link to it too?
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, but it's not only that. We're going to make another event at a different hour. So these events that we have at this hour will continue every single day. But Ali will have his own group call starting at maybe, I don't know how many days a week you want to do, Ali? How many days a week?
I'm thinking we start with one and see what ramp it up from there.
Okay, so the first one will be what day?
Wednesday.
Wednesday? Is that enough time to get? Okay, guys, if we do Wednesday 6 p.m. Eastern time, anybody here? Are people here? Does anyone here have the time? Would they be able to go? Because I want to make sure yes. Okay, Sketch is saying yes. I could go. Daniel will go. So Amy's saying when? Wednesday 6 p.m. Eastern. No, sorry, Pacific time. Right? Pacific time. So that would be 9 p.m. Eastern time. So Ali, I wouldn't be there. I would do mine at the same day, but earlier. But Ali is going to have his own segments that you guys will get to come here and without me, and Ali will be hosting it.
Is it the idea to do 4 a.m. Israel time?
Yeah, that would be 4 a.m. Israel time. But don't worry, guys. We're gonna do one. Eventually, we will add another one earlier than when I start for Israelis as well. So
I
we're
want a
gonna add
Hebrew
more.
one. I want to practice my Hebrew.
Okay, there's already groups for that. This is a politics community, not a language. Yeah, because we want more people.
Politics in Hebrew.
Okay, we will. Okay. All right, but the thing is that our group discussions need to be in English so that we get maximum participation. Because if we do another hour that is earlier, people from other countries might want to join that as well. We want to also cover Australia, maybe India, maybe some other places as well. So they will be here as well. So we're just trying to make it work for all time zones. So the time zone that I'm doing is good for the most global presence, but it's not good for people in Australia, and it's also not good for people in the US, especially on the West Coast, right? So Ali is going to do his segments, which is going to be at 6 p.m. Pacific, West Coast time, Pacific time, so we could get more Americans included, more people in America and Canada, especially on the West Coast, included in that. But how many people here are interested in joining that, because we only need 2 or 3 people for it to work. We don't need everybody here. So Sketch, you will be there. Okay, Amy, Alexia, Danny, fantastic. Okay, Jeffrey, would you be there? Okay, Jeffrey. Okay, I will try. Okay, you will. Fantastic. Okay, we already have enough people. Okay, so Wednesday 6 p.m. and Ali would have his segment.
And eventually, guys, Armin has a dream. And his dream is that you can pop into school whenever you want, 24 hours a day, and there will be people in here with their segments talking about politics.
Yes, the plan is for this to become 24/7, and there's not a single minute in the day that this community will not have events with people in there. So all the time, you will be able to come here, and there are people to talk to. Okay, and not only that, that it would be live streaming on Liberty Politics 24/7 as well. So when there's 24/7, there are people here talking, and 24/7 live streaming on Liberty Politics. That's the eventual goal. And it will be cut into segments and be posted as videos as well. So that's the dream here. Okay. All right. Epic. People like that. Do you guys like that idea? So guys, we have a second host. We have mods and we have a second host, which is Ellie. And hopefully we will have hosts for 24/7 coverage. And oh, by the way, I do. So Samantha mentions that can't you have a Jewish one? If we want to do that,
I'm sorry, that was I
What?
didn't realize that was funny. The Jewish, yeah, I said Hebrew, not
Yeah. Hebrew, yes. Okay, Hebrew one.
But-
Yes, sorry. Okay, a Hebrew one, and I do want to. I'm already working on having a Persian version. That's also funny. Persian version of our school for that will be broadcasted on a Persian channel. So if we're doing Persian at some point, if we keep growing like this, we might have. The only reason why I wouldn't do that goes against doing Hebrew is that I'm wondering if at one point AI will make everything live translations possible on all social media. So having like an English channel and then a Persian channel and a Hebrew channel would not be very effective anymore, because the English channel will be serving everybody, because everybody from any language will be able to go watch it, and it will be translated to their language with the same voice that the person is talking in real time. And not only that, I'm thinking that at some point people will have apps with phones and everything that whatever language they're speaking, if the audience is English, they just speak in Hebrew or Hindi or I don't know, Persian or Arabic, and it will just be broadcasted to whatever the language is in the community that they're in with their own voice. So that's why I'm like, all this effort of creating multiple community with different languages, what if it becomes unnecessary very soon with the way AI is going? And then we built all of these different communities, and we would have been better if we just focused on one. But yeah, I don't know. I see a 2 in the chat.
might be interesting because I feel like the conversation would go in different directions. Obviously, like just by definition, if we're gonna have a Hebrew chat, it's gonna go in a certain direction that you know.
But we're doing that already with the hosts, right? So in this community, like we're going to have American hosts, Iranian hosts, Israeli hosts, right? So given that the host is, for example, Israeli, and they're interested in local Israeli politics, for example, that host, like for example, me being the host means that the segment that I'm doing, people are often talking about Iran, right? So the segment that the host is Israeli, that will already mean that local Israeli political issues will be a bigger part of the topic. And then hopefully, like, I want to have a host that is very into, at some point, very into American politics, that maybe we could add at some point, where they're covering the elections, they're covering like on a much more detailed level. Oh, this governor over here is going to get this many votes because of that thing happening over there. So that would be like a very much American focus. And then I want to do hosts that are focusing on the UK, not always just talking about the UK, like their interest, like that segment talks about everything political, globally related, but that host is specifically from the UK, and they're talking about, I don't know, immigration to the UK. And then we could have like segments that have two hosts, right? Like we have somebody from the UK, and also, I don't know, Germany and France, somebody else covering, like multiple hosts at the same time in different segments. So you could pop into the segment that is more interesting with regards to what part of politics you're interested in. Like somebody who thinks, oh, I'm interested in Iran or Middle East, might come into the segment that me and maybe some one day a co-host of mine is hosting. But somebody who's interested in more in internal American politics will go to the segment that guy that is doing the American politics, right? So, what do you guys think, by the way, about all of this? Like this becoming the long-term plan. And other than this, we also want to turn this community to a place where we actually do things as well, not just talk about. And I have a huge plan for that as well. Eventually, as we grow, we want to become effective in some having some effects on politics in our own way. But I have already plans for that, but that's a much longer term plan, right? But this is not just a discussion group. In my opinion, this is at some point it's going to turn into an army. People could come just for discussion if they wanted to, but we're also going to do things as well. Oh wow, we have a lot of responses. Let's go to the responses.
Sketch.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, if because you guys were talking about Armin making people make channels, made me make a channel. I made a channel, like you said, got 2 videos up. I plan on having dailies, like I had the daily today on more advicey. If I find another video that's that I think is prescient, it's about today's news, I'll do that. The plan is to have daily videos. I don't really plan yet on having a call-in show, but I guess I could. Once the school is over, it'll be easier to jump in with Ali. But I think it's a good idea. I think if you're gonna have a Persian channel that's Persian letters, we're not gonna understand it. But you could have a whole other schools, right? That is tailored for them, and that way you won't get a whole bunch of Persian language in there that no one can understand.
Yeah. Let me clarify. If we do make other languages, it will be a separate school community.
Oh,
In this school community, it will always be English. If we ever decide, I already made a school community, but that is now useless because Iran doesn't have internet, right? So that is not active anymore. But I could have made a Persian one and then a Hebrew one, but I'm focusing on this one right now. Okay, and this
okay, I'm in for
community
the
will
Spanish
always be
one.
English.
I could make one in
No,
Spanish.
okay, but I think we should focus because we could get distracted. I don't want to do so many branches and none of them ends up working out, right? So it's better to focus on one thing and make that work rather than focusing on too many things at the same time.
Okay,
So let's make this community work.
I focused on
And
English, got the translation going. That's what I had to say.
okay.
Okay, cat lady.
Yeah, actually, I would love a Hebrew one, but maybe if someone actually knows about an existing group or something of Hebrew thing, just let me know. And I will also post my YouTube because it's a fashion here. So, and I think Armin was a bit scared that if we have a Hebrew one, it will be too crazy and people will put out stuff and translate it. But I'm joking. Yeah.
I
It
mean,
will
you're right.
become BB, no BB.
You can never trust the Jews, right? You have to make sure they're speaking in English. You don't know they're scheming.
Of course. Of course, they become more civilized when they think they're like, listen.
Yes.
Okay, Danesh.
By the way, Armin, I appreciate this community. You have no idea how much.
No, thank you. That's sweet. That's very sweet. Thank you. Thank you.
First of all, John, super excited. It sounds really exciting to me and super happy for you. Dude, you're doing great. I don't know. It's not just the whole school thing, and yeah, you're doing great. On top of that, just wanted to mention quickly that working in the AI field, it's disclaimer. Obviously, it's really hard to predict what's happening in the AI fields altogether. We get surprised on daily basis. Having said that, to me, it doesn't seem like a live translate is something that you will have sometime soon. Obviously, we'll get it at some point. It seems like a really big challenge right now. There are a lot of companies that actually are working on it really hard, and Zoom is a lot of companies would benefit from it like really heavily, but it seems like a big challenge because
So when you say not soon, how long are you thinking?
again, it's Armijan, it's really hard to predict, but near future, in a year or something, probably not.
Oh my god. Okay, but here's the thing. Even if your answer was 10 years, that is still makes it, because what I'm building here is something that is supposed, I'm thinking 20 years. I'm trying to make something that works in 20 years from now. So even if it's something that is 5 years down the road or 10 years down the road, that means I built something that I worked 10 years on and it's now obsolete. You know what I mean?
Okay, cool. So I'll go to my second argument then. I was basically, my second argument was that I think it's also really important to have people that have the lived experience. For example, like talking about American politics, if it's folks from US, like born and raised in US who have the lived experience, it's much better. For Persian version, also I love the word Persian version. Obviously, it would help to have Iranians with the lived experience. I think probably the same for Hebrew. So what I'm like, my second argument was that I'm not sure if a live translate would do the same thing as having the dedicated
wouldn't it? Because if you have live translation, that means that in the segment in the time that we're talking mostly about Iran, now so many Iranians with the lived experience will be able to join, and it will be live translating them. So wouldn't that mean more people with the lived experience will be able to join because of the live translation?
My main argument, Armijan, was like the focus, basically the priority of the things that we like you talk about, which gets your audience base. Basically, assume that you have a group that is working based on AI Live Translate and is talking about basically almost everything. What I'm saying is that the way that the group itself prioritizes the topics that they're talking about and the approach that they're taking is heavily influenced by the people who are active in that group. And what I'm trying to say is that the lived experience makes each group to focus on things that matters to the audience. So what I'm trying to say is that one group can't do the same for a Persian audience and Hebrew audience, as well as having different groups. So what I'm trying to say is that I think probably if you like at some point, if you have a couple of different groups who are focused on like specific communities or specific issues, I think that would do better. That's my personal. Just wanted to add to that as in general. Again, just my 2 cents. Also, just wanted to like mention that I think I'm hoping that you would do the Persian version sooner. I think it's really needed in the Iranian diaspora, especially to have conversations, and it's something that at least I'm not aware of any.
I need help with that though, because I'm already I'm already running out of time doing the things that I'm already trying to do. But so I need help because I do want to I've abandoned the Persian channel because there's no internet in Iran, and so many Iranians are contacting me, like asking me to, Armin, please come back and become active on your Persian channel. I'm like, guys, I don't know if it's worth the time because Iran is disconnected, and I'm already doing hours of live streaming with Goldie every day. I don't know if I have the time, but I would be interested. I already created a school community that was becoming active for the Persian speaking Iranians, and then I had to abandon that because after the internet goes cut out. But I would be interested in getting help rerunning that and turning those conversations in that school community into videos that we put on our Persian channel again, if anybody wants to help out with that. Ali was interested, I think, in Ali's giving me the thumbs up. So maybe we could. Ali is agreeing with me so many times, and I'm worried that am I taking advantage of Ali's being so agreeable? I want to make sure. Miami's nodding. Okay, so Ali, I just want to make sure that you're not doing any tarof or anything. Okay, let me know. Okay, fantastic. All right.
Go. Yeah, build your own cult, Armin. All the power to you. Love that. That's probably the best cool would happen.
Okay.
Thanks, Armin.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for the suggestions. By the way, just to be clear, I know you're joking, but I'm very sensitive of not turning into a cult. Okay, so I'm actually sensitive about that. So try to criticize me here and there. So in case we do become a bit too cultish, okay.
Just to
If
make
you-
just to make
yeah,
myself
yeah.
clear, the only reason I thought it's funny was that I thought we all know that, so
Yes.
that it would be funny. If that wasn't the case, I thought. Anyways, yeah, I know.
Yes.
I agree.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Danish.
Okay, Hila.
Sorry. Okay, shalom. First of all, I love it. I really love it. I do think discussion as a thing need to grow, not as a debate and not as screaming, yelling, and accusing. And people listening is something very rare this time. And that's, for me, for Israeli politics, I will not want to talk to Israelis about politics, not like that. We have a program now in Israel. It's called Unity in Israel Now, Israel Achdut Achshav. And this is where you come to people living room, you see them in their real faces, in their houses, and you talk to them like human about what you do agree with them, not what you don't agree with them. And this is an open wound that we need to heal before we can go out in public and scream at each other in public. And it happened to me here in this discussion group, and people didn't let me finish, even though I listened to them. And I don't want this to be a thing, and I want other nations to learn from our bitter experience in this topic. And I wish the whole world to have productive discussions about life, trying to find a human basic truth and road that we can go on, instead of focusing on the stuff that is not important and dividing. And that's my piece. And the other thing, I put a lot of thought about what I guess you and Ali are doing. I was not aware of you doing it, but I put a lot of thought in it, and I have some inputs that I want to give. I think it's really important that you will guide the young people of your new nation in the days around the world. I think you do need to connect, and I think you need to, before the first Aliyah, 1889, they were starting to push youth groups in different places to talk about shared values. And these groups, in the end, my grandma was in one of these groups in 1913. This is how she came to Israel when she was young, and all her friends here were from there, and they built a lot of really good stuff in this country. And I think this is your path, and I would love to share from my personal family experience. So invite me, even though I'm not Iranian. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Hila.
Next,
So
Shana.
guys, next people, I have only 3 minutes. So if we could do it very fast, because I need to also go eat something. But yeah, thank you. Go on, Jana.
Oh, just really, sorry, just really quick. I think this is a great idea. I can't do anything right now because we're in the middle of a move, but in the fall when things are a little bit settled down, I'd be interested in maybe hosting something. I also think it'd be really good for Americans, maybe something to evolve out to would be different sections of the country, because one of the things I've learned recently over the last couple of years is like how I think it's very different than other Americans in a sense of just because of where I live. So there's different subcultural experience. Of course, for all Americans, there's overarching values, but America is a huge, it has mountains and rivers and natural divisions between people based on economies and things like that. So I think maybe sectioning it out at some point would be an interesting idea. Let's just throw that out there.